Hey everybody, Bill DeBoer over here at DeBoer's Auto, and today we just want to make a short video for everybody. It's March 2021, and everybody's celebrating Women's History Month, and we thought that we might make a little video about the women of DeBoer's Auto. So introduce everybody in case you don't know. We've got Heidi, we got Colleen, and we've got Tina. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
All right. So I'm going to go around. We'll start with Colleen, because she kind of started off outside of my mother working in the business, which she had no choice, really. But Colleen did. And, we want to talk to you about why you wanted to work in a male-dominated field.
I don't know if it's that I wanted to work in a male-dominated field. I just really liked cars.
Yeah.
I've just always liked them since I was a little girl. I just thought they were really interesting with all the moving parts and the way that they worked. And I really wanted to know more about them. So I decided to go to school and learn about it.
And why the auto industry? I mean, you like cars, but like why?
I don't know. I just like the way that they work. I thought it was cool. So I wanted to learn about it. So I did.
And how about you, Tina? What made you choose this field? Yeah, Tina.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was still going. My bad. So, ironically for me, it was kind of more of a fell into my lap kind of deal. I did choose it because my story is a little bit unique. I have a sales and marketing background, and I ended up choosing the auto industry because the first auto place I worked at was close enough to home so I could spend time with my dogs. That was the most important thing to me. And then I ended up really loving the industry. It's an awesome part of all industries to be a part of. Like the auto industry itself is just so unique, and there's so many great opportunities to have, and so many more interesting things that occur. And I learn new things every single day. So for me, it's never boring. So that's the greatest thing for me.
And what about you, Heidi? I mean, it's been kind of dragged you into it, right?
Yeah, we kind of happened upon each other. But I have to say that in all of the times in my career where I've thought that I could marry what I was doing not creatively and put a spin on it to have creativity and channel that, this has been the most spot on for me, where I am creative and I can help people and work with each other, and I like every day I get to be creative, and I'm just in my niche. And the fact that it's about cars, and I know my dad's smiling down on me. It was always his thing. And like when I have a conversation and I can actually say something about a car, I'm like, look at me. Kind of fun.
Yeah, well, maybe we should back up and talk a little bit about your background and how you ended up here at DeBoer's Auto. So what were you doing first and before you were here?
Well, I was in marketing, and I sold print advertising. Actually did a lot of the auto accounts, and then I took a hiatus from that, and I've always been a photographer. So I knew you from trying to marry our industries together and the advertising. And then you called me to do your website photography, and then it just kind of went from there. Been doing this ever since, and I love it.
Yeah. Learned a lot about the auto field too, right? While you've been doing it?
Yes, and I really learned a lot about the other side of marketing. Like I used to sell it, and then somebody else would do it. And now through, you and learning and just digging in, I can do both sides of it. And that's fun.
It's awesome. So, Colleen, let's take it back to when you first started here. How old were you?
I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
And what obstacles did you have to overcome as a young woman in the automotive field here?
It was hard. We had to work on getting people to trust me to know what I was talking about. I had a really hard time with that in the beginning, especially with older customers. But over time, I think after they got to know me and being here for a while, that they realized that I wasn't just some girl you picked up off the street to come sit in the office.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was a big thing, right? So your background was that you went to the Votech, and that's how I hired you, was through the Votech. What would you call that program? It was called the work release program, but
it was called CIE. I forget exactly what it stood for, but
yeah.
My senior year of high school, because I went through they called it transportation technology. So I learned about automotive and then diesel trucks. And
Yeah.
they have a coordinator at the school to help place us in jobs for our field. So I went and met with him, and he's the one who introduced me to you.
Yep. And that was how many years ago now?
12.
12. It's a long time.
Yeah.
What do you wish you knew then that you know now?
That's a hard one. I wish that I would have had a little bit more confidence and not let other people's comments affect me as much.
Yeah. How about you, Tina? When you were you've been in it for the industry for how long now?
I've been in the industry for 7 years, the auto industry specifically. So I started in 2015, 2014, I apologize, 2014. And I think for me, if you're asking what obstacles I've overcome, I had very similar experiences, but as somebody who works more on the sales end, not the technical side, like Colleen has done, I think for the most part, the biggest obstacles I've had to overcome were some limited by me. The lack of knowledge to know which questions to ask the technicians when I was just getting to learn some of the more technical aspects that I'd have to explain to customers. So not having the confidence to just get them to talk to me and get them to lead the right questions. So that what I can do, what I've done since then is I've gotten better at the questioning line for the technicians. But the other obstacle is similar to what Colleen experienced too. You get a lot of doubt as a female from the customer end. So more so than say a male service advisor or a male technician would get. It's just socialized into us, I guess, to assume that a male in this particular field, he must know what's going on. I'm not gonna lie, I met a lot of dudes that don't know what's going on. So we just have to take it with a little bit of grain of salt, a little bit of sense of humor about it. So that's what I do. I kind of do it by joking around. And that really helps overcome the obstacle because, it minimizes it and makes it feel a little less sticky.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's worth mentioning that you guys are both ASE certified, so you've passed the industry testing to demonstrate your knowledge, and that you guys actually know what you're doing and know what you're talking about, probably more so than some of the men in our field these days. So I think that's a really important thing. How about you, Heidi? What obstacles have you had to overcome? I mean, you're a little bit newer to it, right? 3 years in, kind of a little bit different because you're doing the content part where we're helping to educate our customers. But and through that, your curiosity is what helps provoke the content that we provide. So,
well, I think like you said, the content, to talk about something that I don't know about, but in doing the content and working on the videos with you and editing the videos, it's amazing how much I've learned through them. So if I could have maybe taken all of that content and stored it in my head in the beginning, that would have been a really great jump start. But I think we learn as we go, and that's part of the great thing about learning is, it can be fun, it's challenging, it's hard, but you get there because you're determined. So
Absolutely. Just trying to think the impact that you ladies and the other, I mean, we have you three currently working here. We've had some others as well, and the impact that they've had on the business has been pretty significant in my point of view. I mean, I think the way our business carries itself, the look and the feel of the business is all representative of having some women in the workplace, and typically, male dominated world or industry. You think back to I know the industry as I came up into it, the girly calendars hanging on the toolboxes in the shop, and some of the inappropriate stuff that was in and around the shop area. So maybe you guys want to talk a little bit about that and how you guys feel about what you bring to the table at our business.
I'll go first. I think we definitely make it feel a little bit more professional. Like you said, those girly calendars. I know even when I first started working, it doesn't really happen anymore, but there would be the parts stores that would come around and give you the yearly calendar, and some of them were a little inappropriate, and it made me uncomfortable at first when they would hand me this calendar that had half naked girls on cars. But we don't get those anymore. And I think it's just because there are more women in the industry that they realize that it might be offensive, so they're not giving them out anymore. They would have to go buy them, I guess, but the guys don't have them in their boxes anymore or anything like that. And I think that, like I noticed when we call around to the parts stores, we're noticing more women that are working there. So we're all bringing up the industry a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning our industry right now, females represent only 3% of the automotive industry overall, and that includes not just auto repair shops, but body shops, new car dealers, used car dealers, parts stores, the entire automotive sector. So it's a pretty low number, but I'd say within the past 10 years, I've noticed a major significant uptick in it as well. Female shop owners out there and that sort of stuff. Maybe you want to talk about the bathroom, Heidi?
the urinal. I think people have a perception of smaller auto shops, and I certainly, when I called on them in sales, not somewhere as a woman you want to visit, that you'd rather hold it than ask. And so one of our missions in the last couple of years is to do some renovations, and I think if you haven't been in our waiting area, it's beautiful, and it's homey, and it's not a bunch of oil signs and souped up cars. And the bathroom was just redone, and it's very female friendly.
Yes.
And clean.
Yep. And what do you think, Tina, about where we're headed and what it looks like in the future with what's going on here? Tina?
So sorry, can you repeat that? The guys were just putting the hammer.
Yeah, I was just saying, so where do you think we're headed here in the future as far as the industry and DeBoer's Auto in general?
Ever stop leaving your car here? One of the related to that we can pay the strength, or the other half of the the style that the very one help me. Then what that does for the For a shop to be able to adapt to customers' needs. So, the auto industry might have previously been seen as like a big, quiet secret, right? Like, oh, I gotta bring my car to the mechanic who's a magician and knows how to make it work. No, it's really more just communicating what's happening, educating, not just, women, but people, right? So having the education and communication style similar to a teacher, right? Being able to bring that to the table instead of kind of keeping it like, too one-sided, like almost too machismo, or to be a part of, it actually makes it easier and makes it more welcoming. What I kind of hope it does in the future, and I hope what it does, is encourage the younger people to want to join in, want to join in on the industry at an earlier age, so that they get better interested in when they're younger. This trade is absolutely needed. There's a technician shortage. And I don't think anybody really cares what gender the person is. They really need people to work on the farm.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So I thank you guys all for being here today and providing your input. And we hope this was of an interest to everybody else out there. And we'll talk to you all in the future. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.